All right, here with Trenton Thunder manager Shawn Chacon after the series over to win over the Mahoning Valley Scrappers out in Niles, Ohio. They're en route to now Williamsport, Pennsylvania, Little League World Series for the series versus Crosscutters coming up this weekend. And the series win, well, close, tight wins, 5-3 and 11-9. First two games you get the win. Tough blowout loss, 18-5 tonight. But Shawn, his opening thoughts. Going to talk about the series, and your takeaways. Winning 4 out of 5 right now, and sitting at 4-4.
First of all, we're in the middle of nowhere, so I apologize for the sound if it doesn't come through too clearly. But thanks again for talking to me, Travis. The boys, the fellas played really good baseball these past 5 games now. So overall, like coaches, myself, and I think the whole team is feeling pretty good about, being here and where the team's at, and we'll keep, running them out there, and they keep performing and learning. So the loss tonight, I guess, it's one of those games that you're like, okay, if you chose to play baseball, then you're going to have games like this. And, we take what we can to learn from them and get better. I try to make sure that all these things understand, especially in games like this, that you can only focus on, parts of the game that you can learn from. So 2 out of 3 again. I think if you're looking at it from a win-loss standpoint, obviously it's good. Look at it from a growth standpoint. I think there's a lot for everybody on this team to learn from this past game tonight.
Got you. Game results, you've had blowout win, blowout losses, tight wins, tight losses, because it just helps the guys, I guess, moving forward, being in different scenarios and learning from those different games and results.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of spoke about it in the dugout tonight about losses like this, blowout losses and blowout wins. Like, they're really tough to learn from and gain momentum from, if that makes sense, because for some reason the close games, they really, really make you think. They make you, they test you at, a stressful moment. And a lot of guys learn a lot about themselves. Coaches learn a lot about themselves as well as the players. But blowout games, it's kind of, you're just trying to really get to the end of the game, to be honest.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's go back to game 1 of the series, 5-3 win. You guys were down 4-3 in the 8th inning. And then, I talked about last time, Mike Hooley came up big time with that go-ahead game-winning home run. Talk about Hooley, had a great series, a huge hit in that game.
I'll tell you what, man. The veteran guys on this team, Hooley, the top of the list here are, like, they're just showing their experience, their poise, and then their talent, obviously, is coming through. I want to point out, too, that Hooley's been, taking on a leadership role with some of the younger players on the team, and particularly Logan Dawson. And I feel like he embraced it, he took it, he ran with it, and, his performance on the field is just, it's a bonus because, he's a quality king right there, is Hooley.
100%. And you see your starter, both wins, both win 5 innings, no errors in game 1. Talk about the job Noah did.
Noah was outstanding, and that's the tough thing. It's 2 days ago, you're thinking about each game, but, can't forget, that was the beginning of the series. And he came out and played so well, gave us the innings we needed. He pitched predominantly with his fastball, which you don't see a lot of guys recognize in the game that's what they can do. And really, that set the tone. You win the first game of a series, especially on the road, gives you a good chance at obviously winning the series.
Gotcha. And talk about Colin Horwitz got the save in that game, and then also pitched, I believe, tonight. Inning and third, scoreless, worked out of trouble in that 9th inning. Job he has done, Colin.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
I thought the job Colin Horwitz to get the save in game 1 and pitched tonight, I believe, as well, inning and third.
Yeah, he did. The first 2 games, everybody pitched well. Aside from Northeast in the 6th inning last night. But Colin, Colin Bear, in case anybody's wondering, he stepped up. He did it, and honestly, Noah setting the tone for that game. It kind of just, dominoed from there with these guys, and Colin definitely, followed that trend and finished the game off. I will point out, he also took the ball tonight, which in a game like tonight, it's hard to ask their bullpen and pitchers to come out and be competitive, but he took the ball, no questions asked. And for me as a manager, I mean, that's, that builds trust. And I just, I want to give those guys credit. Obviously, Ronnie, too, same type of situation. He's taking the ball when we've asked, whether it's a lead, losing, or a blowout like tonight. And that goes a long way with guys like that.
Gotcha, 100%. So you went to Logan Dawson's to close it out there on the mound. Position guy.
Yeah, so tonight was one of those. Ended up being short on pitching. We had a couple guys, their arms weren't feeling well last night and tonight, so that set us back as far as arms that were available. And I'm not proud of it, but any manager would understand, like, when you're put in a position, you go with your best option. Logan Dawson pitched 2 weeks ago in high school, and he was literally begging to pitch.
Gotcha.
The kid even had separate pitching spikes in his bag in his locker, so he was beyond prepared.
Gotcha.
But again, he got a little insight as to, like, what type of league this is, the talent there is hitting. But it's just one of those games. You see him in the big leagues, see the position players throw. And like I said, it's hard to take the bright things, the positive things from blowouts like this, because they get lost and mixed in the shuffle. But definitely Colin Horwitz Bear was one of them. Ronnie stepping up and pitching and do what he did was definitely one of them. And aside from results, I'm proud of the guys, all of them.
Gotcha. Let's go on game 2 last night. The 11-9 win. Guys were up 8-2 after 4 innings, and then fell behind 9-8 after the 6th inning there. And then you battled back. Talking about catcher Justin Fogel, newly added to the team, on the team last year, played all levels of college baseball, local guy, and had a big go-ahead game-winning 2-run knock in the 9th inning.
I'll tell you what, let me give you a little background on Justin Fogel. So he wanted to be on the original roster the opening day for the Thunder, but, it's a numbers game and what didn't work out. Contacted me. He asked if he could be our backup bullpen catcher at home just to help out. He volunteered. And for me, I remember him from last season, jumped all over it. And as baseball goes, he got an opportunity to be added to the roster and play. We saw it with Chris Reeder last year in the same type of situation. And now Fogel's also taking on a leadership role. He's getting opportunities. He came up clutch last night. So for me personally, it makes me feel good about, giving guys opportunities, that volunteer, that want to be humble when they do it, just to give them a chance and see what they can do. And I'm proud of him as well, man. Like he said, I'll catch bullpens, I'll do whatever. I'll coach the young guys. He's done this and that. Like, you just can't praise him enough. So I'm happy for him as well.
Gotcha.
As far as the game goes, wow. Pitched well. First part of the game, we're up, we're comfortable. But as baseball goes, it's never over. You have managers say it all the time, a lot of game left. Well, proud of my team because they took that 6th inning, gave up the lead. But I promise you this, not a single one of them moved around in the dugout or acted like that we weren't going to win that game. And I know it's if you're in there and you see it and you feel it, you're like, man, these guys, that didn't faze them. They actually wanted to pick up, Norris for his struggle in the 6th. And that's exactly what they did. So, again, these guys are solid young men.
Gotcha. Well, that's about Norris. I saw the line, the 6 hits, 6 runs, but touch on the outing and the confidence level still on him, getting roughed up, I guess. Moving forward.
This is what when pitchers come here from college or wherever they come from, and they step into Trenton Thunder, specifically when, we're at home, right, in front of that crowd, like the adrenaline level, it's hard to explain. Like, you try to get them ready for it. Usually the first outing for pitchers, their stuff is just electric. Their adrenaline is so high. And then, I kind of try to warn them, like, the second week, you might have a little bit of a adrenaline dump happening, and your stuff it's not gonna feel like it did the last time. So I think that was the case with Paulo. I think the travel, the schedule, these kids are not used to all of it. So me personally, I know other managers in the league and the league itself, we understand that. So it's important that we reinforce, like, it's okay. Like, we know this is part of baseball, So at every level, like, they talk about it in the big leagues. They got dead arm, legs aren't there. It's just being a human being, you know what I mean? So I fully expect him to bounce back in his next outing and feel better. And, same with all the rest of the guys that probably are feeling the same way right now.
Awesome. A couple other guys in that game. Your starter was Gavin King. Went to 5 innings, 3 runs.
Oh, Gavin. Yeah, Gavin was okay. So Gavin was great because, he pitched so well, right? But if you ask Gavin, he'll say the same thing. Like, he worked really hard for it. And, again, to watch pitchers go through the same thing that I did through my career, right? And watch pitchers go through it regularly, but to also figure out a way to get through a game without having your best stuff. That was Gavin last night. And I think he learned a lot about himself and about not having his best stuff and still being able to compete and get the job done. So I think he probably, gained a little bit of confidence last night.
Awesome. And another catcher, John Schroeder, 2-run home run there in the 4th inning.
Oh, man, huge home run. And so when I was sitting in the dugout, I was going over the roster, and all I heard was the sound of a bat, the sound of Schroeder's bat hitting the ball. And anybody who's watched a lot of baseball knows that sound. When I heard it, I immediately looked up just to find the ball because I knew it was far. That's all I knew. And the guy's a professional hitter. Like, he hit, I think, 295 last year in this league. He's a good catcher also. And last night, that 2-run homer, like, it just juices up the team. So,
Yeah, and Clayton Johnson, I believe we talked about him before he left for the road. 6'8", 230, got the save last night, 3 Ks in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and you know what? That was a plan. We didn't plan on using Clayton Johnson. We don't like to go back-to-back with these players, especially, 2 weeks into this draft league season. But again, we were in a position where, we needed innings covered. And honestly, Clayton Johnson, again, with no hesitation, said he was available. And honestly, for him, having a little bit of a struggle the previous night in his outing and coming back, like, he was totally different pitcher. And I think we got last night the true Clayton Johnson. So again, it just reiterates, if you give these young men opportunities, especially at this level with the talent they have, like, they're gonna make you proud, and they're gonna evolve and develop just in those instances right there.
Awesome. Transitioning, going into Williamsport. How's the team been so far on this road trip? The long drive to Niles, Ohio, and the hotel and everything, the games. I think the team's advantaged.
I'll tell you what surprised me was how well they played Tuesday. I'm sorry. 6.5-hour bus trip, after a day off. And no early work. We showed up. We were able to hit a little bit of BP. I mean, we barely got to eat. Like, we literally showed and go.
Uh-huh.
And these guys played so well. So, it didn't phase them, the road trip. You look at the next day and you're like, okay, well, they played good. Next day, you look for that lag. Didn't happen. So I attribute it to the experience of a lot of our, what I would say, leaders on our team. These leaders may not know who they are, but us coaches have identified and definitely know. But there's some experience on this team combined with talent. And you know what? That's why everybody's chilling right now. We've got blown out tonight, but we're on this bus trip to Williamsport, and everybody, we know we chose the game of baseball, and we're going to take the losses. But they're already thinking about Williamsport. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I can only imagine the camaraderie and the team building relationships have only gotten stronger throughout this road trip, I imagine, right?
Absolutely. And it doesn't just happen, with winning games. It actually happens, in games like tonight, And what I saw tonight with this group of guys is they wanted to pick each other up, help each other. I had, position players volunteering to pitch, just everybody treating each other like, with love, like a human being. So, again, baseball is why we're here, but it isn't the most important thing. And I can tell right now, these players, that's the way they take it.
That's awesome. I just wanted to ask you about Jude Abadessa. I think he was scheduled, to start a website today. Is he okay? Jude?
He wasn't here. I don't know. I think there was a breakdown in communication.
Gotcha.
He was actually doing a workout for University of North Carolina.
Cool.
And, he asked to sneak away to do that. And, we're in no position to tell him no. I think it's a great opportunity. We do miss him dearly, obviously, but he got a chance to go show his stuff to other people, and we support that. But he'll be back this weekend for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, just wanted to ask about that. But cool. How do you feel about pitching going in this weekend?
I feel good, man. I mean, you got guys coming back. So we were missing Preston Prince, Jude Abadessa, obviously, and Finn. So we're also adding kid with the last name McGregor, Cooper McGregor, or McGrath. I'm sorry, Cooper McGrath as a pitcher, and then we're fortunate enough to get Miguel's teammate to start for us on Saturday. Again, who started opening day. So the pitching looks outstanding. I just hope the rain stays away, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Hope so. Awesome. Great stuff. And appreciate you hopping on here on the road from Mahoning Valley to Williamsport. And Trenton Thunder now 4-4 in the season, winning 4 of 5, taking the series out there in Mahoning Valley versus Scrappers. Again, en route to Williamsport. Shawn Chacon, manager of the Trenton Thunder. Great insight. Myself and everyone listening to this in the future. Appreciate your time, Shawn, and safe travels and good luck out there in Williamsport this weekend.
Thank you, Travis. I appreciate it. Enjoy being on this thing, man. Cheers. So talk to you soon.